Some negotiations and the government shutdown. The president just wrapping up talks with Republican and Democratic leaders at the White House. The first high-level negotiations on this issue since the shutdown began. Just wrapping up now. No resolution. The shutdown now in its 19th hour of its second day. Just a short time ago, President Obama sitting down for an interview with CNBC, telling them he's willing to negotiate issues like Medicare and Social Security, but not his health care plan.
We have a situation right now where if John Boehner, the Speaker of the House, puts a bill on the floor to reopen the government at current funding levels so that we can then negotiate on a real budget that allows us to stop governing from crisis to crisis, it would pass. The only thing that's stopping it is that John Boehner right now has not been willing to say no to a faction of the Republican Party that are willing to burn the House down because of an obsession over my health care initiative.
So we are still waiting for comments from those involved in this evening's talks at the White House.
Dozens of furloughed federal workers protesting today outside the Veterans Administration here in Denver. They represent many different agencies, including the EPA. Workers there say people need to realize what they do on a day-to-day basis, like making sure your water is safe to drink.
I think we really need to bring attention to what's going on, and people sometimes have a hard time seeing the impact of the government. So we need to educate them about the work that we do on a day-to-day basis so that they can put some pressure on Congress and we can put pressure on Congress to let us go back to work.
And contacting your representatives in Congress may be difficult. A 7 News employee contacting Colorado's representatives and senators through their websites. So far, the only response, this one from Senator Michael Bennett's office, saying, due to a government-wide shutdown, my office will be unable to respond to your email until the government reopens. The only other response so far, a message on Congresswoman Diana DeGette's website, saying they will not be responding to messages due to the high volume of email.
Video like this is some of the most dramatic that we've seen so far during the shutdown. These are veterans traveling some thousands of miles, going through pedestrian barriers to get into the World War II Memorial, one of the many landmarks officially closed during the shutdown. The Park Service saying those veterans will now continue to get access, but some groups are saying that everyone should be allowed in.
That's not right, and we all know that that's just not fair. So I've come here to announce that the Republican National Committee has put aside enough money to hire 5 security personnel full-time to keep the World War II Memorial open for veterans and visitors across this country.
Now, it's estimated it would cost about $150,000 to cover those costs for 1 month. The Republican National Committee inviting the Democratic National Committee to join them in covering the cost. So far, no response from DNC. Now, check out the 7 News app for the very latest on negotiations to get the government back open. You'll find out about the impact of the closure, what it's having here in Colorado and elsewhere, and you can share your stories about how the closure has impacted your life, all on the 7 News app.